Alright, for all you seed lovers, this is probably the best mail that you get any day of the week, which is the Baker Creek order. And so I am going to show you what I wound up getting. And let's take a look. This is for all you seed addicts that are out there who wind up getting way more seed than you're supposed to. This is probably at least my fourth, if not fifth order. I already have too many seeds started. I cannot keep up with them. And what does any good seed addict do? Just close your eyes, don't think about it, and order more seed. So here we go. Let's see what I wound up getting, because what's so funny is if you're a seed addict, you probably know that you wind up ordering seed in the middle of the night and didn't even remember that you ordered it. Every once in a while, I order the same thing twice, and then I just try to give it away and spread the seed love around. So this is a few that actually Pael, one of my friends at work, was asking about, and so I thought, oh, these are interesting. Let me go ahead and order them, even though I know she would have just ordered them on her own, but I do like having my happy mail become happy mail to someone else. And so if you have extra seed, maybe find some seed pen pals or snail mail pals and then be able to send them some. So I know I owe a few people out there some seed, and if I haven't sent them, it's because I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do it. And this is the Independence Day weekend, so I'm hoping to get some of those seed packets out to you. It is the beginning of July, so it is a hard time for a lot of people to start seed, but it's also a good time to start thinking about seed that you haven't started that are summer loving, heat loving plants, because if you're doing succession planning, you would have already wound up like deciding you're going to have different stages of development all throughout the summer to make sure that you can maintain your seed and food production throughout the season. And then what you're going to want to do is make sure that you just maybe shade things a little bit more when it's going to be the heat of the summer that's coming down on your little seedlings. And then otherwise, really there's a lot you can do to kind of make sure that you continue to get some seed producing plants, because one of the things I also like to do is stop collecting fruit from a lot of the plants and then start letting them just go completely to the end of their fruit cycle so that you can then collect some seed. And I like to collect seed earlier on, and then you don't need to worry about it later on in the season, and you can just enjoy the plants. So I think if you collect seed at home, you know, ideally you have more than one plant, but if you need to, even collecting seed from 1 to 2 fruit off of a plant can be good. So what I've been doing is, and we can go over this later, is letting the plant kind of get some production, and then when I have, say, 4 to 5 plants that are producing really well, then I save 1 or 2 of them to just go on to seed production. All right, so that was enough of that. Let's get back to our happy mail. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of these, but here's a squash. Scheherazade? So it looks like it is it looks like a winter squash, which doesn't mean that you don't grow it in summer. You grow it in the summer, and then you let it go all the way to the end of the season before you try to harvest it. And so you wind up harvesting in winter. Parisian pickling cucumber. So I don't actually have, I think, some pickling cucumbers. I might have had a Market 76, which I think is just like a eating one, but I'm still getting used to cucumbers. It's something that I really haven't done a lot. If you wind up wanting to get a lot of cucumbers, I'd actually recommend the Cucumber Shop. Even though Baker Creek is great for any of the seed that they produce. But if you go to cucumbershop.com, this is a gentleman who is just a lover of cucumbers and cucamelons, and so you can see the wide variety that are available. But I think his main focus is cucamelons, so you'll find things that you didn't even realize were a cucamelon. And if you haven't tried a cucamelon, which I haven't myself, I'm just starting from seed, so hoping that we can get some this summer before something eats them, because I've already that's another story. We'll talk about cucamelons later. Let's see what's in here. So I'm not actually sure what's the difference between these packages and these packages, but some of the Baker Creek come in this one and some in this one. So if you know the difference, go ahead and then let me know below, because I really don't get it. maybe they're older packages. I'm not really sure. Okay, Sunrise Bumblebee Striped Tomato. I actually don't know why I got this because it's really probably too late to do tomatoes, but I'm going to try anyways. Pink Jazz, also, I guess a tomato. Again, maybe a little bit too late, starting something in the beginning of July, but this is Southern California. I live in Long Beach, which is a very cool climate, and so it is really hard for us to get tomatoes going really well, you know, until it starts to warm up. And so I'm planning actually to have my tomatoes kind of growing more towards September, October-ish, where it's still kind of warm. And then some of these can even be overwintered a little bit, especially the cherry tomatoes. So this is a golden honeymoon, which is an American melon. So we'll see about that. End of June is the recommended last start for a lot of the summer crops. Again, I'm going to do succession. You can't really do succession with like melons though. You really got to do like one big crop so that you can get them going through the summer heat. But we shall see. We shall see. It's only been in the 70s here, so I'm not too worried. If something has a 60 to 90 day maturing cycle, you can consider July, August, and September to be when they're going to mature, and so that actually works really well for the climate that I'm in. Black Prince is a Snapdragon, so I'm trying to do more flowers with the food that I produce because I think that makes your garden look really cute, and it will get people maybe a little bit more on board who are neighbors. Also just in pictures it looks kind of nice, so if you're trying to get people online to think about growing some food and some flowers, sometimes putting in that little splash of color really makes a huge difference in terms of getting people excited about growing their own food. Marina di Chioggia, which is funny because you know what's so funny? I think I actually, this is so funny. I think I had seed from 2004. So it was like over 10 years old. And so I was trying to figure out what I wrote down. And this is, I guess, what it is. And I think I actually sprouted one of these. So it's good to have some fresh seed to start off with. The one that I had was an Italian seed producer, and so the picture had much more orange on it, but it did have this kind of warty appearance. And I'm just looking at the back. Sea pumpkin. I'm actually not sure what a sea pumpkin is. So something else that we can investigate later. This is Winter Luxury Pie, which is a winter squash. So again, something you're going to harvest towards the end of fall into winter. Oh, doesn't this look beautiful? Now this is just worthwhile just to try. So what I've been doing is trying to do some tomatoes, and I have some that I transplanted really quickly, and so those have been doing really well, but I have been a little bit late and maybe we'll call it lazy slash procrastinating slash maybe a little too busy to handle all the seed that I wind up planting. So I do wind up just thinking I should keep on trying because I can never tell when I'll stay on top of things and when I won't, so I just keep on trying. So this, I think I want to try no matter what. Granted, I'm going to try with everything, but you'll see there's probably like 30 different seed here, which is hard to keep up with. So I always do the math in my head. If I have 30 different seed that I'm going to start in a week, then if I start like 5 of them, then all of a sudden that's 150 like transplants to try to keep track of. So but always worthwhile. Keep on trying. This is another tomato. I've never seen anything like this pear shape. And so again, something that I think is just fun because once you get it going, you can, even if I just got, say, 2 fruit, one I could save for seed, one of them I can try to see if I like that variety. And if I don't like the variety, then I can always just send this seed off to someone else, put it in our seed library. Right now, I'm a part of the Los Angeles Seed Library. I do want to get a Long Beach one up and running, and there are some people who are trying to do that, so we will continue to try to do our own local branch of the Seed Library because it does make a difference. Our climate is much cooler than the rest of Los Angeles because we're by the ocean. Then this is a summer squash. Kamo. I wish I had the pictures, but we will get pictures later and maybe roam through Baker Creek's online website so we can see some of the things that we've received. Oh, this just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So Apple Blossom Snapdragon. I've grown a few Snapdragons. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a lot of little seed. And it's probably easier to just go and buy these in 6 cell trays, but I do want to try to reduce the amount of plastic. So it may be more trouble to do this, and if you calculated the amount of time and the amount that I would normally be paid per hour, it's probably a little bit ridiculous to grow something from seed, but I think you need to decide for yourself, do you love doing it? So check, I love doing it, so I can consider it a hobby, and even if I just do it for fun, it's exciting. Number 2, I can never buy enough to make it to make sense in terms of if I buy 100 seed, I can never technically buy that many 6-packs. So, and then you get these colors that you wouldn't normally get if you were to just go and see what was available at a nursery nearby. It's a little more restricted in the types and colors, and so I think that this is always really great, is to get varieties that aren't readily available. And who wouldn't want something called Apple Blossom? Lovely. Now this, I'm super excited about. Jelly Melon. I actually thought that I didn't get this, and so I was going to buy it somewhere else. So it's kind of funny that it's in this packet, because then we can try it. This one I'm definitely going to do today. Like if there's a one to start today, it's going to be this one, and this one. Let's start putting it into 2 piles. The must start ASAP, and then I think this one. So we've got these so far. I feel bad for the ones that don't have pictures. Now this one seems kind of a little bit, plain, even though it's a beautiful colored tomato. But I might put this on the back burner, even though I don't have a yellow tomato. We might focus on this yellow pear-shaped one. But then at the same time, maybe we should compare these two. Like if you want to have a different look and color of the baskets that you're probably going to be giving to people, you might decide that maybe one of these tastes better, one of these produces better, or one of these is easier in your garden. So a lot of times what I'll do is try out a couple different things. Can never have too much okra. I love okra. And then there was a podcast that I was just listening to. I think the person was growing something like 150 varieties of okra. So of course I got the okra itch again to go ahead and get more okra going. So this will be the next round. So also the other thing that you can consider is if you like a particular type of, vegetable, you can go ahead and then do successions of that individual variety. Or if you want to try different types, just do succession, but not necessarily all with the same variety. You go ahead and do successions, like every month you grow a different variety, and then you get to have the over the summertime tasting different things. The only thing that makes it a little bit hard if you do it that way is that if you do successions and each variety is at a different stage, it'll be a little bit harder to be able to compare the taste of each one of them. And in the end, you probably do want to have maybe a variety that you really love that you can kind of focus on if you've got a small plot. But I think no matter what, all of these are pretty worthwhile. You do want to make sure that you're getting spineless ones. I'm assuming that this is a smooth one, because if you get the okra itch, it's going to be horrible from what I heard. Actually, maybe, no, I have too much okra right now, so we're going to give it a break. These just look cute, so we're going to put that in the must-have starts. These also look cute. I think any of the cherry variety can really be succession planted all throughout the summer because of the fact of being in Southern California. These are going to be able to possibly winter or kind of overwinter and then be able to continue to give us a crop, so we can try these side by side. This is a free one. They always give us a free variety, so thank you very much, Baker Creek, for the free seed. And Rosella, another one. Now I'm wondering, why did I get this? Because look at it. It's exactly the same as the other one, just minus the green stripes. But if we want to try the taste, we'll go ahead and maybe, oh no, let's not put that, because look, now we have something different. Blue cream berries. So let's start that one. That's a cherry. Martino's Roma, I think is Pael's pick. So let's go ahead and then try to get this one out to her. Oh, this is cute. So I got this Jack B. Little, which is a tiny squash. I think it's the little decorative ones that you can see in the store. And so I think it's always fun to be able to just grow something that looks cute. There's also a little bottle gourd that I have started. So I have maybe 3 of those plants. And so I'm going to get this one started because I want these ready because my big pumpkins look like they are already eaten by something. So that's probably a wash in terms of being able to get a pumpkin, because I think what I'm going to do is probably, if there is a pumpkin that grows, I'm going to let it go to seed and not carve it. Well, I guess you could let it go to seed and carve it, but okay. Then this broccoli, because at the end of summer, usually around August, I shouldn't say end of summer, middle of summer, you can start to grow the plants from seed that you're going to overwinter. And so you want these, like the broccolis, other brassicas, to be up and running by the beginning of fall, so you can start to get a fall crop. This just looks pretty, so who knows if it tastes good. So this is a cabbage, and the hard part about cabbages are going to be the fact that they just take up a lot of room. So if this is the actual plant, let's pretend we shrink it down. Let's pretend that's the size of it. The actual cabbage plant is like this big. I can't even show you. Like, it's like this big. And then the little cabbage plant inside that you're going to eat is like that big. So that's the problem with cabbage, is a lot of times for the just regular old cabbage, it's probably just worthwhile to go and buy it from the store. Sometimes that's what I think too about these. The one nice thing about cabbage is that it doesn't come in plastic wrap usually. But if you get lettuce, it does a lot of times come in plastic wrap if you're getting a lot of it. And I usually buy like something like 6 at a time, and so that's a little bit tricky. So I try not to buy things in plastic, but if I can grow it at home, it works better. We'll try this later. This one, because it's going to be more fall, I'm going to wait till August to start that. And then this particular one, another pumpkin. And I think, you know what, since my other pumpkin got eaten by something, and it was just a tiny little thing, so no chance that it's going to survive, that we're going to go ahead and then plant these, because I need something for Halloween. Because this year I want to have the whole front step filled with pumpkins. I always do wonder if someone's going to start stealing things, because I have had stuff stolen from the front garden. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to, like, just do it. You know, hope that you have enough karma, good karma, I should say, in the world that you've built up, that hopefully people don't steal things. And if they steal things, hopefully they do something good with it. Maybe they just don't have enough money, and maybe they just need a pumpkin. So I can grow pumpkin for people who don't have the money and need to steal. But okay, so let's go back to what we're going to start right now. And I'm going to start these in the little containers that I use with some paper towels. So again, we're going to do Kiwano. We're going to do our pumpkin for Halloween. We're going to do the little B little pumpkins. And we're going to do some cherry tomatoes. These interesting tomatoes. This very interesting tomato. And just something that's super cute. All right, have a great day. Grow some seed. Do something wonderful in your garden today, so you'll be happy. Bye.